You ever wake up tired, then spend the whole day trying to recover from being tired, only to somehow still feel tired when the day ends? Like, your battery never fully charges anymore. And the weird part is, sometimes it's not even about sleep. You can sleep 8 hours and still feel exhausted. You can take a weekend off and still feel mentally fried. You can drink coffee, take vitamins, buy productivity apps, listen to podcasts about discipline, and still feel like your brain is running on 12%. And after a while, that exhaustion becomes your personality. You stop saying, "I'm having a tiring week," and start saying, "I'm just always tired." That's the dangerous part. Because when exhaustion becomes normal, you stop questioning the habits causing it. And most people think exhaustion comes from doing too much. But honestly, a lot of the time, exhaustion comes from the small habits we repeat every single day without noticing. The habits that quietly destroy your energy, your focus, your motivation, your mood, your sleep, and eventually, your life. So in this video, we're going to break down the habits keeping you tired. Not the obvious surface level stuff. I mean the real habits. The psychological habits. The emotional habits. The digital habits. The modern life habits. Some of these are going to hit hard. Because chances are, you're doing several of them right now. And before you think, okay, this is just another productivity lecture. No. This isn't about becoming a robot. This is about getting your energy back. Because life feels very different when your brain isn't constantly exhausted. Let's start with the first habit. And honestly, it might be the biggest one. 1. Your brain never gets quiet. Your brain was not designed for this level of stimulation. From the second most people wake up, their mind is under attack. Notifications, texts, videos, music, emails, news, group chats, scrolling, background noise, multitasking. And the scary part is, we've gotten so used to overstimulation that silence now feels uncomfortable. People can't even stand in line without grabbing their phone. Can't eat without watching something. Can't shower without music. Can't walk without a podcast. Can't fall asleep without stimulation. Your brain never gets a break. And when your brain never rests, you feel mentally exhausted all the time. Not because you're weak. Because cognitive overload is real. Your attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. And every time your brain switches tasks, it burns energy. That's why you can spend an entire day online doing nothing, and still feel mentally destroyed afterward. Because your brain processed thousands of tiny inputs. And most people don't realize this. Mental exhaustion feels physical. That foggy feeling. The heaviness. The lack of motivation. The inability to focus. The weird emotional numbness. That's not laziness. That's overstimulation. One of the biggest lies modern culture tells us is that rest means consuming more content. They say, no energy, watch something. Feeling stressed, scroll. Feeling empty, distract yourself. But distraction isn't rest. A lot of people aren't resting. They're just stimulating themselves in different ways. And eventually your nervous system stays in this weird state where it's exhausted, but also unable to relax. That's why some people feel tired all day but suddenly awake at midnight. Their brain has forgotten how to slow down. So here's something simple that can genuinely change your energy levels. Create moments in your day where your brain is allowed to exist without input. No phone. No content. No dopamine machine. Just silence. And yes, at first it feels uncomfortable. Because your brain is detoxing from constant stimulation. But over time, your mind starts calming down. You think more clearly. You feel less mentally scattered. And weirdly enough, you get your energy back. Because real rest is not just sleeping. Real rest is reducing mental noise. 2. You're sleeping, but not recovering. A lot of people think sleep is just about hours. But quality matters more than people realize. You can technically be unconscious for 8 hours, and still not recover. And modern habits are destroying sleep quality. Especially this one. Using your phone right before bed. Everyone knows this is bad, but most people still underestimate how bad. Because it's not just the light. It's the stimulation. Think about what your brain is doing before sleep. 1 second you're watching a funny video. Then bad news. Then relationship drama. Then someone showing their luxury lifestyle. Then a conspiracy theory. Then a motivational clip. Then another dopamine hit. Your nervous system is getting emotionally jerked around for an hour straight. And then you expect your brain to smoothly transition into deep recovery. It doesn't work like that. Your brain needs a landing strip before sleep. But most people are mentally flooring the gas pedal right until bedtime. And there's another problem. People use nighttime to emotionally escape. For a lot of people, late night scrolling is the only time they feel free. No responsibilities. No expectations. No work. So they stay awake longer than they should because psychologically, it feels like reclaiming their life. Which creates this brutal cycle. You stay up late to feel better. Then wake up exhausted. Then need stimulation and caffeine to survive. Then feel drained. Then repeat the same cycle at night. And honestly, this cycle is incredibly common. The issue isn't just sleep. It's that people never emotionally decompress during the day. So bedtime becomes emotional revenge. And one of the best things you can do for your energy isn't some biohacking trick. It's creating a nighttime routine that tells your nervous system, we're safe now. We can slow down. So you dim lights. No intense content. Stretching. Reading. Journaling. Calm music. Prayer. Silence. Your brain needs transition time. And when you start protecting your sleep instead of treating it like an afterthought, your entire life changes. Because good sleep doesn't just give you energy. It gives you emotional stability, mental clarity, patience, motivation, hope. People underestimate how dark life feels when your brain is chronically exhausted. 3. You're emotionally exhausted. This next one is huge. And people almost never talk about it. Sometimes you're not physically tired. You're emotionally tired. There's a difference. Physical exhaustion says, I need sleep. Emotional exhaustion says, I can't carry this anymore. And emotional exhaustion builds slowly. It comes from constant stress, unresolved anxiety, overthinking, toxic environments, pretending you're okay, people pleasing, feeling behind in life, carrying responsibilities non-stop, being emotionally available for everyone else. You know what's exhausting? Acting normal when your mind is overwhelmed. That drains people more than they realize. Some people are tired because their nervous system has been in survival mode for years. Always alert. Always worried. Always anticipating problems. Always mentally preparing for worst-case scenarios. And eventually your brain starts treating stress as your default state. That's exhausting. And here's the thing. A lot of people don't even realize how emotionally overwhelmed they are because they've been functioning that way for so long. You can normalize suffering. You can normalize anxiety. You can normalize burnout. You can normalize emotional suppression. Until one day your body starts forcing you to notice. You lose motivation. You feel numb. You feel detached. You can't focus. You stop enjoying things. And people call themselves lazy, when really they're emotionally overloaded. One of the most important questions you can ask yourself is, what is draining me emotionally that I keep pretending is fine? That question changes lives. Because sometimes your exhaustion is trying to tell you something. Sometimes being tired is your body protesting the life your mind keeps tolerating. And no amount of coffee fixes emotional burnout. You have to actually deal with what's exhausting you. Which is hard. Because distraction is easier. But healing always costs less energy than pretending forever. 4. Your body hardly moves anymore. This sounds backwards. But one of the reasons people feel tired all the time is because they barely move. Modern life has made humans incredibly sedentary. Wake up. Sit. Commute. Sit. Work. Sit. Eat. Sit. Scroll. Sleep. And over time your body adapts to low energy output. People think, if I'm tired, I should conserve energy. But movement creates energy. Not instantly, but consistently. Your body was designed to move. And when you stop moving regularly, everything slows down. Your circulation, your mood, your metabolism, your focus, even your confidence. You ever notice how mentally different you feel after a walk? Especially outside. Something shifts. Your brain clears. Your stress lowers. Your body wakes up. And no, this isn't about becoming a gym influencer. This is about reconnecting your brain and body. Because a lot of people are mentally exhausted partly because they live entirely inside their head. Movement interrupts mental spirals. That's why some of your best ideas come while walking, or showering, or driving. Your nervous system resets through movement. And honestly, a lot of people are waiting to feel motivated before taking care of themselves. But energy often comes after action, not before. So if you feel tired all the time, start smaller than you think. 10-minute walks, stretching, sunlight, standing more. Tiny physical changes can create massive mental shifts. 5. You're constantly comparing your life. One of the most exhausting things in modern life is constantly feeling behind. And social media has turned comparison into a full-time psychological experience. You can wake up and within 5 minutes see someone richer than you, someone more attractive than you, someone more successful than you, someone happier than you, someone more disciplined than you. Your brain was never meant to compare itself to millions of people every day. And comparison creates this quiet emotional fatigue. Because no matter what you achieve, there's always someone doing better online. So people never feel done, never feel enough, never feel satisfied. And that constant pressure drains your energy. Especially because social media doesn't just show success. It shows optimized success. People are uploading their best angles, best moments, best vacations, best achievements. Meanwhile, you're comparing that to your raw, unfiltered everyday life. That's not a fair comparison. And after enough exposure, your normal life starts feeling emotionally underwhelming. That's dangerous. Because gratitude disappears when your brain is addicted to comparison. A lot of people are exhausted because they've unknowingly turned life into a competition that never ends. And the truth is, constant comparison destroys peace. You stop living, and start measuring. You stop appreciating, and start evaluating. You stop being present, and start obsessing over whether you're winning. That mindset is draining. One of the healthiest things you can do for your nervous system is reduce unnecessary comparison. Protect your attention. Protect your mind. Protect your peace. Because energy isn't just physical. It's emotional. And envy is exhausting. 6. You say yes to too much. Some people are tired because they have too much on their schedule. But some people are tired because too many people have access to them. There's a difference. Every conversation, every obligation, every favor, every emotional interaction. It costs energy. And if you constantly say yes because you don't want to disappoint people, you slowly exhaust yourself. People-pleasing is one of the fastest ways to burn out. Because you spend your life managing everyone else's emotions while ignoring your own. And eventually resentment starts building. You feel drained after social interactions. You feel mentally crowded. You want space but feel guilty taking it. And here's the hard truth. Sometimes exhaustion is a boundary problem. You keep giving energy you don't actually have. And the scary part is, many people don't even know who they are outside of being useful to others. So they overextend themselves constantly. Then wonder why they feel dead inside. Rest is not selfish. Alone time is not selfish. Boundaries are not selfish. Protecting your energy is necessary. Because if your life leaves no room for recovery, you will eventually break down. And people often wait until burnout becomes severe before they finally slow down. But healthy people don't just manage time. They manage energy. That changes everything. 7. You're eating for dopamine, not energy. This one matters more than people want to admit. A lot of modern food destroys energy. Especially ultra-processed, high-sugar, low-nutrient food. And look, this isn't about perfection. Nobody's saying you can never eat junk food again. But if most of your diet is quick dopamine and convenience, your body feels it. Your energy crashes. Your focus crashes. Your mood crashes. And caffeine makes this even worse sometimes. A lot of people aren't energetic. They're artificially stimulated. There's a difference. Coffee becomes survival. Energy drinks become survival. Sugar becomes emotional comfort. And eventually your body gets stuck in this cycle of spikes and crashes. Which explains why so many people feel okay for 1 hour, and terrible the next. Your body is constantly trying to help you. But modern habits often force it into survival mode. And the older you get, the more your body exposes your habits. You can't permanently outrun poor sleep, stress, bad nutrition, overstimulation, and emotional burnout. Eventually your body sends the bill. And honestly, one of the most powerful forms of self-respect is taking care of your body before it starts begging you to. 8. You have nothing to look forward to. This one is deeper. Sometimes people aren't just tired. They're emotionally disconnected from their life. Every day feels the same. Wake up. Work. Stress. Distract yourself. Sleep. Repeat. No excitement. No meaning. No anticipation. That kind of life drains people. Humans need emotional momentum. You need things that make you feel alive. Things that create curiosity. Things that reconnect you to yourself. And when life becomes pure survival mode, energy disappears. Because your brain isn't just asking, can we keep going? It's asking, what are we even going toward? This is why purpose matters so much. Not in some dramatic motivational speaker way, but in a human way. People can endure difficult seasons when life still feels meaningful. But when life feels emotionally empty, everything feels heavier. And sometimes the answer isn't becoming more productive. Sometimes the answer is reconnecting with joy. Music, nature, friendship, creativity, faith, learning, building something, helping people. Real energy often returns when life feels meaningful again. And no app can replace that. Now the real reason you're always tired. Here's the truth. Most people are not designed for the pace of modern life. We're overstimulated, overworked, emotionally overwhelmed, chronically distracted, sleep deprived, disconnected from ourselves. And then we blame ourselves for being tired. But exhaustion is often information. Your mind, your body, your nervous system. They're trying to communicate with you. The problem is most people only listen once they completely crash. And maybe this video isn't really about energy. Maybe it's about awareness. Because once you become aware of the habits draining you, you stop fighting yourself. You stop assuming you're lazy, or broken, or weak. And instead you start realizing, oh, my life has been exhausting me. That realization changes everything. Because energy isn't something you magically find. It's something you protect. Through boundaries. Through sleep. Through stillness. Through movement. Through emotional honesty. Through better habits. Through slowing down enough to actually hear yourself again. And look, you don't need to fix your entire life overnight. That's another thing people get wrong. Tiny changes matter. Going to sleep earlier. Walking more. Less scrolling. More silence. Saying no more often. Eating better. Actually processing your emotions. Small habits shape your energy. And your energy shapes your entire life. Because when you're constantly exhausted, everything feels harder. But when your mind and body finally start recovering, you think clearer. You feel lighter. You become more patient. More hopeful. More alive. And honestly, that version of you is probably still in there. They're just tired. If this video resonated with you, take a second and really think about which habit is draining you the most right now. Not someday. Not eventually. Right now. Because awareness is the first step toward getting your energy back. And if you know someone who's been feeling burnt out, exhausted, or mentally overwhelmed lately, send them this video. Sometimes people don't need more pressure. They just need someone to finally explain why they feel the way they do. And if you want more videos like this, deeper conversations about mindset, mental health, discipline, modern life, and becoming mentally stronger without becoming emotionally numb, subscribe. Take care of your mind. Take care of your body. And I'll see you in the next one.